Hello and welcome to World Archery's Watch Along for the second stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup. It is 10:56 p.m. on a Saturday in LA, 7:56 a.m. on Sunday here in Lausanne, Switzerland, and most importantly, 1:56 p.m. in Shanghai, China. We are just a couple of minutes away from the start of competition in China, and we've got a lot to look forward to. But, well, I'm Bernardo Oliveira, Brazilian Olympic archer, and I'm very happy to be here with you today to follow all the action going on in China. I'm talking to you from the Archery Plus studio at the World Archery Excellence Center in Lausanne, Switzerland, the Olympic capital. Today, I'm joined once again, just like I was yesterday, by former Estonian international athlete, Olympic coach, Siret Luik. Siret, thank you so much for coming. I have to tell you guys that it's not easy convincing Siret to get out of her bed this early on a Sunday, so thank you so much. And how are you doing? What are you looking forward to today?
So, first off, completely true. It's not so easy, but it's my pleasure to be here. Today it's Recurve finals. I really look forward to seeing, well, first off, how is the weather? I really, yesterday we saw some strong wind, so especially in the first part of individual matches for women. So if that continues today, that means it's going to be probably a bit more exciting. But what I am specifically looking forward is on women's side, we have Deepika Kumari going against three Koreans. So I think this is very interesting. And then we have on men's side an Indian archer who came so like ranked seeded 60. So going, seeing how far he gets also there, I think that's very interesting. So, I think on both sides, on men's and women's side, we have today Kumari and Salunke, both from India, trying to make a surprise in some ways. Although with Kumari, it would not be a huge surprise.
Wouldn't be at all. It's interesting to hear you highlighting two Indian archers, and I have something to share with you and with the audience. Just bringing this up from World Archery's X profile, 1 against 3. So yeah, Deepika Kumari is the only non-Korean woman in the final 4. And as you said, it wouldn't be a surprise if she wins because she's such a decorated archer, somebody who has been on top for so long. But it's amazing that she's made a comeback after she's given birth to her baby.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she's on top form. At the beginning of last year, when she was back to the squad, she was displaying like, she didn't miss a beat. And then, but the amazing thing is what we see there. Kumari seeks her first stage win at the World Cup since Paris 21.
Yeah, since Paris 2021. So she has had stage wins before. She has, I believe, 4 gold medals from stage wins. But because her career has been rather long, like over the years, she has participated in 36 stages. 36
Wow.
stages of World Cups.
Yeah.
So she has 4 goals previously, but in the last 4 or 5 years, none. So I think that would be really cool to if she gets this opportunity again. But her 3 Korean opponents, they are not going to just give it to her. It's not going to be easy. Definitely not.
Yeah, now it's, well, first of all, mind-blowing that Deepika Kumari is on her 36th World Cup stage.
37th already.
37th, yeah. But I just want to bring something. If you were with us yesterday, we were wondering how many wins that would be for Mike Schlosser, because he won in Compound Man yesterday, in case you didn't follow it. And on social media, on World Archery social media, I saw that it was his 10th stage win. So that is like absolutely mind-blowing. And because it's an early morning here for us, I have my coffee, unlike yesterday. I was complaining that I didn't have my coffee, but today I got it right. And I believe that Sirat is going to be keeping an eye on the comments. And the very first question is, where are you watching us from and what time it is over there?
Yeah. So let's see.
Well, we have athletes coming into the finals arena. Kang Chae-young, after missing out on the Korean team last year on the all-important Olympic year, she's back on the squad. Pretty much on top form. She's having some laughs with her teammate Lee Ka-hyun. And there we see our Indian representative Deepika Kumari waving to the crowd. And the very last of the Final Fours is coming into the arena. Triple gold medalist from the Paris Olympics, Lim Si-hyun. And you talked about the weather just a couple of minutes ago, Siret. And from what I saw in the previous session, and now as well, it seems we have way less wind than yesterday.
Yeah, I think archers are going to enjoy it more than shooting more tens or making them struggle less. Or a nice way compound archer said yesterday that as a challenge, maybe they have less challenge on the wind side. But then it all comes down to mental games so strongly, because on the physical side, executing the shot, they would not be there in top 4 in the finals if they wouldn't have mastered it with hours and hours of work and experience. But when the conditions are very good, it's absolutely crucial to have very strong mental games. So we'll see.
Yeah,
but it's not also fully like ideal conditions. There is still some wind, I think, but really like noticeably less than yesterday for sure.
But as I said, I was watching the previous session, and then in the mixed team competition we saw Kim Woo-jin dropping a couple of 8s.
Yeah.
And so, if Kim Woo-jin is shooting 8s, that's because it's not easy for anyone out there.
Yeah. So we have first check-in is ganamos Venezuela. So
Venezuela,
that
that's
must
early.
be a very early or
That's
late
early.
hour.
Yeah, no, because in Brazil it's 3 a.m. now. So yeah, it's pretty much the same time in Venezuela. Wow. So thank you very much. Gracias.
Thanks for joining us.
Okay, Deepika Kumari, Lim Si-hyun, already in the call room, ball in hand, coaches with their scopes ready to come into the stage. And I'm going to explain once again what all of this is about. Maybe you came into YouTube and then you find yourself looking at 2 people sitting, 2 sofa warriors. This is the expression from yesterday, 2 sofa warriors. Judging and commenting on people shooting archery. And then you might be wondering yourself, where do you watch the competition? Well, we have a QR code just here on the left-hand side of your screen. You're going to be redirected to Archery Plus. That's where you can watch the competition. We have a screen just here in the studio where we are watching. And the goal of this broadcast, as the name suggests, it's a watch-along. So the idea is that somehow virtually we're kind of just sitting at the same sofa, just having a drink. You might be drinking whatever you want. In my case here, I'm having some coffee because it's an early morning. And then the idea is that we just have a very chill chat. Yesterday we were talking about tattoos, Indian food, and whatever. And also, of course, bringing some useful information about the competition. Now it's time to bring the graphics. I'm going to be plotting the arrows of the match for you to follow somehow. And Lim Si-hyun drawing her very first arrow against Deepika Kumari.
So yeah, these archers have already gone through a qualification round, eliminations. Only top 64 athletes got to do matches, elimination matches. So they have already won multiple matches and come down to this semi-final that they both started with 9s. So now
and
we
Lim
have...
Si-hyun to the left.
Yeah, both arrows to the left. I didn't see her instantly doing a change in her sight, but let's see.
Ooh.
And an 8 for Deepika on the right side, so on the other side. And she did change her sight. and a very good group, but all 3 arrows to the left. So
Yeah.
you can see from the plotting, so blue color marks are the arrows for Lim Shin-yok.
Yeah, but don't get too attached to that because I forgot to change the color. So let me put Lim in white and Deepika in orange. Would you say? Yeah, because that was my bad. So
Okay.
to be a bit more truthful to the uniforms that the athletes are wearing, we see Deepika quite talkative to her coach,
Yeah.
looking at the target, maybe trying to understand how the wind is behaving, what is it
Yeah.
like to shoot in this finals arena here today. For her, it's a first shooting at this arena today. While Lim Shi-hyun, she has had quite a couple of arrows because she shot the women's team where she won gold with alongside An San and Kang Chae-young, and also the mixed team where she won gold as well with Kim Woo-jin.
Okay, and maybe I take this opportunity to explain a bit about the format that the Recurve archers are shooting matches. So,
Absolutely.
If you're not familiar with it, in Recurve we have 3 arrows shot at once, so it's called a set, and the maximum score with 3 arrows is 30 points, and whoever wins the set gets 2 set points. And if it's a tie, it's 1 point for each athlete. So that means the match continues until one athlete has 6 set points. So at the moment, for the first set, we had 1 point more. 27 versus
27 to 26, yeah.
For Lim Si-young from Korea. So set points are 2-0, and you can see it in the graphics very well. And now we're already on the way in the second set, and Deepika Kumari made a really nice comeback, started with an 8 and now having 2 10s, so 28 points. That means 9 will tie this set, so she did get a 9. It's 9, 10, 9, 28 as well. That gives 1 and 1 point for each. This set, that brings us to 3-1 to this set. There was one liner, but I think it was quite clearly 9 for Lim.
Yeah, we need confirmation on that one, but here on the system, scorer down there in the range is confidently calling it a 9, didn't even put a 8 star. And also, yeah, visually, I think that's pretty much a 9. So it's very much like we have a scenario of a 3-1 lead for Lim Si-hyung from Korea. But indeed, that was a very good comeback from Deepika Kumari. And also really cool to see that she started with an 8 to the right, then she shot a 10, almost touching the line, and then last arrow was an X10. So she can be feeling confident that she's got, she knows where to aim. She's got her sight well adjusted to begin this third set, and now she needs to start making a proper comeback.
Yes. Set points 3-1 now means that Deepika is the first one to shoot. And she is starting with a rather long shot, but she's actually so experienced that I have seen her very long shots also hit well, but not this time. 8.
Yeah, we could see her string arm behaving a little bit weird just to finish the shot. It had a feeling that it was a little bit forceful. Lim Si-hyung doesn't forgive and puts it in the 10 midday, close to the line. Deepika Kumari desperately needing a 10 now.
What? Oh, 10.
Yeah, that's
nice
what
10.
she gets it.
But what I see now is that there is wind on the shooting line starting as well. Some of the hair and clothes moving a bit. But Lim has really found her shooting like 2 10s nicely together.
No, and the timing of the second arrow was superb.
Whoa, that's nice as well.
Yeah.
2 10s to finish off this set by Deepika as well. So, 10.
30. X10 to finish things off in the third set. High five between Lim Si-hyung and her coach, who Unfortunately, I don't know his name, but he is a very familiar face. He has been with the Korean national team for a really long time. And there we see him exchanging a couple of words. We don't see any troubled or just worried faces from the Korean duo there. They seem pretty much comfortable. And this has got to be bad news for Deepika Kumari, because now she's down 5-1. She needs to win the next 2 sets to force a shoot-off.
Yes, exactly. So, like, no more even 9s are allowed, I would say, looking at this, that you really need 30 to even tie, maybe.
Yeah, and then, like,
tied set is not enough anymore.
Not enough. And here, putting our Sulfur Warrior caps on, you see, like, Deepika Kumari, she has shot 3 8s. Had it been 3 9s, things would be really different in this match. They were really making a difference.
But I think she needs to put the pressure on from the first arrow. And
that's what she's doing.
She did. Yeah. So now she shot a 10 with the first arrow. And that's a good start, because that's exactly what she needed. If she shoots an 8 with the first arrow, the pressure is way less for the opponent. So
exactly. Lim Si-hyung takes the pressure back to Deepika Kumari. Needs another 10 to try and stay alive in this match. Try and force an error by the Korean. She's just out.
Actually, if you look at the tiny spots that arrows leave in the target face, for Kumari, they are all slightly higher. So I wonder if she will regret that she didn't change the sight slightly more. Oof.
And she's still up. Still
actually,
high.
there is not even a single arrow lower than the center of the target.
That's
not a single
crazy.
one.
This is something the coach has to tell her, right?
Yeah, because if we see for 29 points for Lim, so 29 for Lim, 28 for Kumari, that means this match is over. So, yeah.
Done and dusted. With a 9.5 average, Lim Si-hyung dispatches Deepika Kumari 7 set points to 1. Deepika Kumari will have to settle with a chance for bronze in just a couple of moments' time, right after we have the second semi-final of this session. Lim Si-hyung really unchallenged all throughout.
Yes, but if we look at the statistics, then I will bring out, she is world ranking number 1. She, in this very same tournament, also ranked first in the qualification round, meaning that not only the ranking points from last year, but she is very strong starting this season as well. And she already beat another Korean archer, An-san. So
that's got to be highlighted. And I'm sure, looking at the social media, we saw a lot of people were super excited about An-san being back in the team. Like, she made such an impact with what she did in Tokyo, and then, like, she's definitely one of the stars. And I really, don't take me bad for what I'm saying, but I have a feeling that Lim Si-hyung did not have the same impact, even though she did exactly the same thing. She won 3 gold medals at the Olympics in Paris, but An-san really has this aura around her. Like, she has this, this, like, so many people are crazy about her, and I'm sure a lot of people were dying to see her shoot in the Final Four today, but Lim Si-hyung, she put a stop at that.
Yeah. So I come quickly to our YouTube live comments, and
bring it on.
So we have people from India, from Luxembourg, and then we have someone commenting that Korea plays too good. Even a 9 is bad for them, and this is absolutely true.
No, today in the team session, if you watched it, it was just, they were on another level.
Yeah.
It was just crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so what is happening now is that for the second semi-final, we have 2 archers coming to the field, and they are both Korean. So in a blue shirt, we have Kang Se-young, who was sixth in this tournament in the qualification round. She beat, for example, Alejandra Valencia from Mexico in the 1/8 match. And then in the white shirt, we have Lee shooting in the target number 2. Well, for you, if you're listening and watching us, it doesn't really matter which one. But she was second behind Lim in the qualification or in the ranking round, and they started off the match with a 9 and an 8. So it seems where they are practicing and when they go to the competition field might not have 100% similar conditions, maybe, because none of them has started with a 10.
Yeah, there is also the considerable time as well. It's sometimes you can be like 15, 20 minutes in between your last practice.
I think even more. Yeah.
Lee Kar-hyun, her last arrow, making a diagonal line on the target. She really went from top left all the way to low right, but all within the yellow. Kang Chae-young already out of contention for this one. Puts it in the 9. It's a 26. Absolutely a subpar set from the Korean archer. We just had a comment saying Koreans are way too strong, but 26 definitely isn't good enough for the Korean standards. But nonetheless, Kang Chae-young, pretty smiley, pretty chill. We have, the two Korean duos over there, with Kang Chae-young and her coach wearing blue, dark blue, and Lee Kar-hyun and her coach wearing white. I have to say, I really like this navy blue uniform from the Korean team. I think it's really stylish.
Yeah, it's very nice. And like most of other items of the uniform, like long sleeves and the hat is white, so it all goes together really nicely. But I want to highlight something. So Kang, this is her 17th stage of World Cup, and for Lee it's only 4th. So there is a considerable difference in the experience that they have had, but there is also 4 years age difference. So Kang is 28 and Lee is 24.
Yeah, I remember Lee Kar-hyun in her first and I think only season with the team so far. It was in 2022. And just the fact that an archer makes it to the Korean national team is super, like it's so tough. And it's nice to see when they bounce back, when they do not make the team again, but then they make it back. It's really cool to see that. Yeah.
And now we see a real Korean shooting. So first then they looked, saw the field, felt it, fixed their sights, and now they're going for the 10s. So we have 2 10s from both athletes. So both athletes shot 10, 10, 10, 10. And let's see what they do with the third arrow, because third arrows will be the ones that decide this set. So that was extremely fast shot by
Kang,
yeah. And went to 9. And we have a 9 also from Lee. So
matched by Lee Kar-hyun. It's funny how she came out of the line kind of like asking the coach, where? Like, where did I go?
Did it really go to 9?
Yeah. But I find the Lee Kar-hyun's shot today, it looks so smooth. Like it's really nice to see. And she is just like Deepika Kumari, she hasn't shot in the arena today.
Yeah.
Because the team that we had, and this is another thing that I think can be interesting to share with the audience, is in the World Cup, a team can take 4 athletes, meaning like a squad. So a country can take 4 athletes in each category, but then the team competition, of course, is shot with 3 athletes. So it means that out of the 4 that go, only 3 actually make into the team elimination round. And so you have one archer that is kind of like not doing the full competition. And in this case of the Korean team, that's Lee Kar-hyun.
Yeah.
So it's the first time that she's shooting on this arena today, and she's nailing it.
Yeah. And she's actually only Korean out of the four who hasn't been to Olympics as well. As you said, was in the international team only once. So
yeah, good point. Kang Chae-young, of course. This is crazy, right? If a woman has been on the Korean team in the Olympics, she's a gold medalist because every single time they have won it. And yeah, so Kang Chae-young, therefore, by consequence, is an Olympic gold medalist. She is now leading, or no, we have it all square with 2 9s. Kang now at full draw with an opportunity to try to put some pressure, but she does the opposite of that. She drops an 8. And at about 7 o'clock, the door is wide open for Lee Ka-hyun to try and extend her lead into the semifinal.
Oh, that looks so calm. Like, she was at full draw, she released, and it seemed like it's the most calm moment in the world.
Her shots are looking super smooth. It's like a visual satisfaction to see how...
yes, but it's unless we see a big surprise of 8 or less, but no, it's a 9.
Yeah.
So 28-27, that makes 5-1. Lee leading, Kang behind. So that means, and actually we can see it from the faces, Kang and her coach are looking more serious.
Wow, like Kang, just from it looks like she's got no energy. It's like she's defeated. It's crazy. Wow, Lee Ka-hyun, she is like, there is something so light about her demeanor, and wow, it's really impressive.
Like gentle even. It's
how to put that into words.
Yes.
But well, we're seeing a replay now, and there is another thing that I wanted to comment on is Lee Ka-hyun. There are 2 things about her shot that are not common in Koreans, which is the fact that she doesn't have perfect alignment in terms of the string forearm, like it's a little bit out of the axis, and also her string elbow is a little bit low, which is not so common to see in Koreans.
Yeah. But if it works, it works.
She's been there she got there on merit.
So almost a 10, but a 9 for Kang to start what might be the last set. If she doesn't get 2 set points from this set. So even a tight set is not enough for Kang. She needs 2 10s to put the pressure on Lee. Let's see if she can make it. But she looks like under a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
and
Kang,
it's another 9.
And I'm pretty sure that on the previous set she was on 2 sets ago she was also high. I think we've just seen her give her sight a few clicks, but so far so good for Lee Ka-hyun.
I think that one was 10.
You think that's 10?
I think it's 10.
I'm calling that a 9. I dare to disagree with you. But Kang Chae-young now more than ever needs a 10 to try and put some pressure on her teammate. At full draw, she releases
a 9,
yet another 9.
So she has shot 3, 4, 12 arrows, and 10 arrows have been higher than the center of the target. And only
Lee
2 lower.
Ka-hyun doesn't take any chances. High five with the coach, all smiles, because she has just made it to the gold medal final against her teammate Lim Si-hyun. And Deepika Kumari will face Kang Chae-young.
Yes, exactly. So in the meantime, we have a comment saying, would be nice if they actually showed the player shooting, would be more entertaining. We are doing what we are doing, watching the matches and sharing it with you, trying to explain you what is going on. And this is a possibility to look at the scores, get the scores, and listen some comments about the shooting. But there is another possibility. You go to Archery Plus, you have this QR code in the bottom, and you do see, you need to have a subscription, but you do see the live broadcast, so that is a possibility. But you need to go to Archery Plus platform, and that's where you can see it. There is a different set of commentators there, and you can then choose which ones you want. But yeah, but
But I have to say, none of them look as good as you. So
thank you.
That's not going to be trumped. And they're not going to be wearing this such a nice pullover. And
Thank you.
But I like to think that I'm funnier than Chef.
Well, probably. But if anyone who is watching us right now has watched in the past the live broadcast on Archery Plus and heard the other commentating team or us, you can leave us feedback. What do you think? But anyway, we are also waiting for questions. Like, if you would like to know anything about archery that you don't know, or just our opinion about it, then let us know, please. Like, it's we would really love to have this conversation over this chat in here. So let us know. You have been quite quiet today. You have let us know where you're from, watching us, and I believe there is quite strong supporting for Indian archers. But actually, one more thing I remember. It's not only Archery Plus. Many countries also broadcast it on TV. So
absolutely,
it would be worth checking if your country is showing it on TV. So that might be even an easier option.
Yeah, so just explaining once again. The idea here, as the name says, this is a watch-along. So we are here watching it with you. And where can you watch the competition? Like we had a comment saying, would be cool if they broadcast the competition. Yeah, there is a place where you can broadcast the competition. All you got to do is scan this QR code here on the left-hand side of your screen. You'll be redirected to Archery Plus. We are at the Archery Plus studio here at the World Archery Excellence Center. And there you can watch all the action. But not only, you can watch the World Cups, the World Championships, and many other competitions, the Indoor World Series and everything. There is also a lot of exclusive content over there. We have documentaries, and one that I can't recommend enough is the 10 documentary that was done last year, just following the Korean team on the eve of their historic 10th consecutive Olympic gold medal in the women's teams event at the Olympics. But not only it explores that storyline, it also just goes to understand how Korea came to become such a dominant power, and it's everything there on Archery Plus.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting to watch. So if you have any interest in archery, you archer yourself, or you're just learning about this sport, or you're a fan just spectating, I think there is a lot of interesting content on the platform, so it's worth the subscription. So now we are moving to bronze medal match, because we finished the 2 semifinals, and we have in the bronze medal match Kang Chae-young from Korea and Deepika Kumari from India. So we have a small surprise with Kang starting with an 8 and Kumari responding with a 9. It seems it's getting slightly windier, and a 10 from Kang. So that's how we are starting the bronze medal match.
Deepika Kumari, full draw now.
Staying long again.
A 9 will put her
10
square with Kang, but she puts a 10.
Yes.
She remains 1 point ahead. This might be a very good opportunity for an early start. Kang Chae-young, I wonder whether she's still struggling is still carrying over the struggles she had from the semifinal that she just lost to her teammate.
She's really not looking happy.
Yeah. So she just dropped a 9, close to where she had the 8. Oh, and Deepika also shoots an 8.
And they are, for both athletes, arrows are more top left, so...
Yeah. It could be the wind, absolutely.
Yeah. So 27-27, I think it's 1-1 set point. So let's see. We see between the sets replays, because while the judges and agents are doing their work, pulling the arrows, marking the scores, there is always like, I don't know, 30, 40 seconds, 1 minute between. And when you watch the broadcast, you can see the slow motion where sometimes you can catch some details, interesting
About the
details,
technique.
technique or their appearance or...
Yeah. Match judge Lee Miller just signaled the beginning of set number 2. It'll be Kang Chae-young shooting first since she shot the higher qualification score. She is back close to the center of the target, but just missing the 10 by a couple of millimeters.
I think it's quite frustrating. You shoot most of your arrows always on high, and she had 9 and 8 high, and she probably changed her sight, and now she scored the 9 low. It's always like, oh man.
Tell me about it.
Like...
if you've shot archery, you know exactly
Yes.
what that is like.
But at the same time, it's also stupid to keep doing the same thing and having the arrows on the same side. So
yeah.
I think in that situation, 9 low is better than another 9 high.
In the same place, yeah. I agree with you. Deepika Kumari fluctuating.
That was not super good shot, but it's very close to 10, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the case, that she had a good, and she had her bow arm nicely set for that arrow. So even though the release wasn't the best, still she was so close to the 10. Now Kang once again a 27, this time all in the yellow, but that might not be enough. The door is open for Deepika Kumari to take this set.
10 is needed to take the set. And it is a 10.
When she does it, clipping the line on the left side.
So it's 3-1. Deepika is ahead.
Deepika Kumari had a very good chance to win the previous set, ended up dropping that 8, and that meant that they split the set points on set number 1, but now she gets the job done, and she sees herself now leading 3-1 against Kang Chae-young. And once again, we see Deepika very talkative with her coach, sharing a lot of information, really trying to understand the venue and the wind.
Yeah. No, it's... I think it's good that she has such a good channel of communication with the coach.
A good rapport, yeah. And I was mentioning the Korean coach before, that was with Lim Si-hyung, and the Indian coach that is who's with Deepika Kumari, she has also been in the circuit for a really long time. I remember her for my first Youth World Championships in 2009, and she was there with the Indian team, so she's been around for a really long time.
And we have people cheering for India in the YouTube comments as well.
Here we go. Maybe today's your lucky day. Deepika Kumari for sure working hard to take that bronze medal.
Yep.
Kang Chae-young might have a say about that.
Oh,
how about that?
The timing was longer, but I actually liked it way more because I saw some of her shots were even like too fast.
Too fast, yeah.
Yes.
I really take timing as one of the best indicators of how an archer is feeling.
Yeah.
Some archers, they have the tendency to speed up when nervous, and a lot of others also have the tendency to slow down.
I think that is good as well. And it's a 10. Yes, very nice. I think she found. So, not giving it easily to Deepika Kumari. And X10 for Deepika. So we have 10-10 and 9-10. So let's see if Kang manages a 10, then Deepika cannot do anything in that set anymore. And that was rather fast, but the 10. Yeah, she's coming out from the shooting line and like, finally, I got it.
I'm doing my thing here. Yes. Okay, for Deepika Kumari, this arrow is not going to change anything. It's all about building the confidence, but she shoots an 8 at 3 o'clock. Not going to help in terms of confidence, that one. But still, we have a level scenario, 3-3, with 6 arrows to go. It could go either way because Kang Chae-young seemed to be struggling, but a 30 shows that she's pretty much back in contention.
Yeah. Can you make a guess for how many years have Kang and Kumari been shooting archery?
Well,
So Kumari is 30 and Kang is 28.
Kang is 28?
Yes.
Come on, man.
And she started 1 year earlier than Deepika.
Kang must have started when she was 8.
Exactly.
Yeah.
2005. Yes, exactly.
Good, good. Well, this is just general knowledge from my time in Korea. So,
So yeah, now we have 3-3 set points. The match is all tied, and Kang is starting again, and she opens with a 10.
fourth consecutive 10 for Kang Chae-young. Smiling more.
Yep.
That's gotta be bad news for India team. But Deepika replies in great fashion.
Yeah.
She sends back the pressure to Kang Chae-young, who now has to respond.
And we got in YouTube Korean flags as well. So India versus Korea, both also on YouTube.
There you go. Yeah, it's a good time in Korea and India. And in Korea, it's like mid-afternoon on Sunday, prime time for watching archery.
Yeah. And I think it's a 10.
Yeah, I think so too. So we have 10s all across. They're just sending the pressure back and forth.
It's really beautiful to watch if you see archers shooting like that. It's great.
It is. Kang Chae-young releases. That one is out.
That's 9. So it gives an opportunity for Deepika Kumari. If she manages a 10, she gets the set.
Full draw. Deepika Kumari.
And not more or less than bronze medal is at stake.
Whoa,
and it's a 10.
And it's a 30. If Kang Chae-young from Korea shot a 30 in the third set, Deepika Kumari turns to her and says, watch this, because I can do just the same. Now yes. Deepika Kumari only 1 set point, and that means only a tie away from taking bronze.
Yeah.
We are getting a different view of that liner. Judge is checking with a magnifying glass, but that's pretty much in, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
That's in. Well, I'm just going to mark here. Start measure. Yeah, and we have confirmation.
Yeah.
Judge pointing up, meaning that it's the higher score. And I just have to put on the graphic. How do I? Okay. Keep score. Close measure.
So,
what is that going to show up in the graphic? So if you're wondering why I'm here just looking down on my laptop, I'm feeding all the graphics that you see here on the screen. Everything below, everything on the right. I'm plotting the arrows. Siret is responsible for all the statistics and also looking up the comments. But now, if you're watching it on Archery Plus, this is something that caught my attention earlier today. We see the trajectory of the arrow, and then we see the max height.
Yeah.
And the difference compared to compound, yesterday it was about 1.90 m, and recurve 3.40 m.
Wow,
of course,
a huge difference.
It's a huge difference. They're shooting further, but also the poundage. Huh?
The arrows fly slower, and they are so much more affected by the wind. The wind is much less than yesterday, but it's much more effect on recurve than compound. So
yeah.
So Kang starting with a 9, that is giving a good chance for Deepika Kumari, but she also has a 9, so
yeah,
9.
I think the danger here for Deepika is we see her just giving a few clicks to her side. The challenge for her is staying in the gold. We saw her shooting quite a lot of 8s in the previous match.
Yep.
Now she just needs to keep it clean, especially because Kang is missing the 10 by just a couple of millimeters.
Yep.
Deepika Kumari only needs to match her opponent, so a 9 will be good enough for her.
10.
Oh, and what about a 10?
Yes, exactly.
If 9 was good enough, 10 is even better. Now Kang, with the wind possibly stronger, we see her hair blowing in the wind.
Yeah.
This is going to be a challenging shot for her to try and put some pressure and stay alive.
And it's a 10.
When she does it.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. She had the left low and then right high, And now in a 10 rank. So.
In the 10, she found. But is that Deepika shaking?
No, I think it was wind, but it's a 10.
That's a 10, 29 to finish in style. Very strong performance for Deepika Kumari, who clinches bronze here in Shanghai, in the World
Yes.
Cup stage in Shanghai.
Yes.
Big hug from her coach. Now shaking hands with Kang Chae-young and her coach. So India in the podium. Deepika raising her bow, thumbs up, and a very broad smile on her face as she waves to the grandstand.
But look at the flags. The wind
Yeah.
is really picking up.
Seems to be picking up now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's whoa. Okay, before we go to the next match, I just want to bring back the schedule once again, just so we take a look.
Yeah, we will have the gold medal match coming up because we had 2 semifinals, and now we will have 2 Koreans facing each other. It will be between Lim and Lee.
Yeah, Lim Si-hyun and Lee Ka-hyun. I just have to update the scores of the bronze medal match. But then we had the 2 semifinals. Lim Si-hyun beating Deepika Kumari 7-1. Kang Chae-young losing to Lee Ka-hyun 7-1 as well. And then we had the tightest match that we've had so far today with Deepika Kumari beating Kang Chae-young 7-3. But this match could have gone either way because we saw great display from both archers, and now we're just a couple of moments away from having the big final of the Recurve women individual. I'm just gonna update there the score.
I'll just add a tiny piece of statistics that I found also interesting just before we move on from Deepika Kumari, is that when I said that she has been to 39 stages of World Cup before, then the World Cup works in a way that in every season we have 3 or 4 stages, and the best ones, only 8 best archers of the season, get to the final. And do you know how many times she has been to World Cup finals?
Deepika,
Yes.
I don't remember a lot of times. I'll go with 3.
9.
9.
9
Jesus,
times.
that's crazy.
So that is absolutely impressive.
Absolutely impressive indeed.
So, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, even
But we
though
have a question.
yeah, send it.
So we have a question, I believe it's from India, from Ashok Kumar Patel, and asking that I have a question to you, that do you really think that we can compound archery in future in the Olympics? Can have a compound in the Olympics in the future?
Well, for sure, that's 100% for sure in the future, because just a month ago we had confirmation that compound archery made it to the Olympic program. It's going to be our sport's 6th medal at the games. It's going to be in LA. It'll be compound mixed team. We're going to have 12 mixed teams competing in LA, and it's the first time that we introduce a bow type in the Olympic program. So this is huge news.
So this is officially confirmed, and we will have 12 mixed teams in the LA Olympics in 2028. And actually, both countries that we see here today in Recurve, Korea and India so far, yesterday in the compound side, they both showed a strong game as well. So, yeah. So now we have started the gold medal match, and it's between Lim and Lee, and they are just starting beautifully. Just tens, only tens.
Tens all across, showing why they were the ones that made it to the gold medal final. Lee Ka-hyung staying in the tens so far. Tens all across the board in this gold medal final. Nothing in between these two archers. Ooh, and that one is just
like
out.
2 millimeters out, yeah.
Yeah, just out
but
for
she
Lee.
seemed not that, like, stressed about it.
No. Wow, that was the
Wow.
wind. That was the wind. We could see her
Yes.
bow just with those tiny little movements there in the end. I dare say that was a little bit more challenging for Lee, and maybe from her body language, she's even kind of like telling her coach that it's like, man, the sight was all over the place.
yes.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
there was something I wanted to mention, something that caught my attention about both of these archers shooting in the final, which is both Lim Si-hyung and Lee Ka-hyung, they're shooting... No, I'm sorry. Kang Chae-young that was shooting for the bronze, but Lim Si-hyung now shooting for gold. They're using a model of bow, a model of riser that is not the latest model. And this is something that we see quite often in the Koreans.
Yeah.
When they find a bow that they like, they just stick to it and they go with it for many years. And also, it's interesting because Lee Ka-hyung is using limbs that are a fairly old model, and she's shooting with them.
Yeah. But I say the same thing as I said before about the technique comment that you made, that what works.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter to have the newest one. It's really what works for you. It's the same if you ask, like, what is the best equipment in the world? It's there is no one answer. It depends what's best for you and what makes you to shoot more consistently. So
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that the limbs that Lee Ka-hyung is shooting, as she probably misses the 10 by less than a millimeter, I'd say her limbs, they came out when 2014, 2013. And also Lim Si-hyung's limbs aren't the newest either. They've been on the market for a good 6-7 years, I think.
Yep. So okay, let's come back to the scores that they're shooting this set, and we have 28 versus 28. So this set is tied. Both athletes get 1 set point, and we will have 3-1. There was one arrow like 1 millimeter out, but I don't think it will catch 10 points. I think it stays the 9.
Here on the scoring system, it's not even they don't even have a doubt. We have a closer shot over there. The judge is checking with a magnifying glass. We're about to see what he's going to say about that. We have target judge Sing Min Wei even putting his cap to cover the shadow, and it's been upgraded.
Wow!
He's called it a 10, it seems.
Wow.
So let me mark the measure.
Yes, so it's 4-0 actually, not 3-1.
Yeah, so it seems that we have an upgraded arrow. I'm just gonna wait until I have confirmation here on the scoring system, and that's gonna be very good news on the Lee camp on the right hand side of the venue. Well, and it's I really like in this graphic when they show the point of release. So you see like the little difference in where the 3 arrows were released. It's crazy.
We have some really good questions coming in the chat. I think it will be good time to answer those between the women's and men's time. But just one quick question that people still are not 100% sure who are joining us later is that where to see the live stream. And I think, yes, you have QR code. And you have Archery Plus platform where you can have a subscription to see this event live, but also many other events.
But do we have negative comments about that? Because
No.
I have... No?
Absolutely not.
I always have a laugh at them, at the comments. No, not at the people, please. We're here to have a good time, everyone.
Yes. So the match is tied 2 points against 2-2. And this set has started with a 10 and 9 from both archers. So third arrow will decide for both athletes. And the 9, so it leaves it open for
Lee Ka-hyung
to take it if she shoots a 10, and it's an X10, so 29 against 28, and this time we definitely don't have any liners.
Top form for Lee Ka-hyung. I'm curious, and I'm gonna look up real quick unless you have it there on your notes. Do you know the seed of each one of them?
Yes.
Which position they were in?
So Lee was second, and she shot 672.
She was second?
Yes.
But why wasn't she in the team?
I think it's comes down to the experience because she's the least experienced out of the 4 Korean archers. She has never been to Olympics.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was not included in the team, so they actually made a swap not to include the top 3 out of 4 based on the qualification. So I think that really is helping her right now because she has something to prove.
She
Like,
has something to
you
prove, yeah.
didn't include me. I take the individual gold here.
And I can't remember what is the Korean team for the World Championships. Do you know?
No.
Because in the World Championships, unlike in the World Cup, you only take 3.
Yeah.
So,
But it might. Is it already set for sure? It might be also that that they have chosen 4, and based on these events, they choose who is the 3 going to World Championships.
it could be, but I think they determine with the
Might be,
trials.
might
They
be.
finish the trials with a top 3 and a top 4.
Yeah.
Well, Lim Si-hyung reacting, starting with a 10, but she's matched by her teammate Ka Hyun. Back to Lim Si-hyung. Ooh, just missing the 10. High with very... In terms of left and right, she was spot on, but just a couple of millimeters too high for the 10. Lee Ka-hyung with yet another opportunity here. Releases, and that's another 10. She is on fire. And a satisfied grin on her face.
Ooh, a surprise.
Maybe Lim Si-hyung was over trying. The door is wide open for Lee Ka-hyung to
Because
take her first win.
It's 9, but it's enough. So it's 6-2, and she gets a gold. And actually, this gives a perfect opportunity to answer one of the questions here, is that how are the archers in each discipline selected for the World Cup finals? So actually, archery is simple. It's purely based on results. So we have 4 stages, World Cup stages. So 4 archers of the winners. So from that match, from this event, we have Lee Ga-hyun going to the World Cup final. If you win a stage, you automatically qualify for the final. And then that makes already 4 archers out of 8. Then we have a host country. So host country also gets 1 athlete shooting there. And then the 3 other free spots that are still left there are going to be based on the World Cup ranking. And this means the points that you get based on these 4 stages. So for example, we had Deepika finishing with a bronze. This gives really good points. So if she is on top, like probably 8 in any other stage, it's already putting her in a good position. To be sure, of course, 2 podiums are way more sure.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. What was Deepika's seed position in the qualification round?
12th. So she
okay.
was, out of these 4, ranked lowest.
The lowest.
But at the same time, that's what I have noticed about Deepika. She might not be the one who is shooting like super bright scores in the qualifications, but she knows how to do the match play and to really squeeze it out of herself in the situations where maybe some others wouldn't, and really use her experience.
Yeah. But I asked that because top 8 in the qualification, they also get points for the World Cup final.
Yeah, that's
true. And so that's what I was wondering.
Yes.
But still, bronze medal, very good result. We still have 2 stages left, 2 regular stages. So in just a month's time, we're gonna have the stage in Antalya, Turkey, a very well-known spot. So lots of archers there, super used to everything there in Antalya. The airport, the hotel, the transportation, the field, the tea market, and everything. And we're going to hear from our champion, Lee Ka-hyun.
Yeah, we have a quick interview. So let's see. They are doing it in Korean.
But they're going to translate.
Yeah.
It's funny, like we see the string mark on the makeup. Huh? Yeah, it's...
Yes. So Lee said that she actually did better than she was hoping to do, and she's very happy
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
gold, of course. But I really think not including her in the team gave that one extra push to do it. Okay.
Wow.
And about the windy conditions, she said that during their national team selections, it was a lot windier. So, like, today's wind was like nothing compared to what it was then. So, she was completely ready for this, what she would say, a small wind compared to what they had.
And an archery journalist who has been around also for a long time, John Stanley. Maybe it rings a bell for a couple of the people joining us. He said something that I think it's spot on. He says that the Korea national team trials is arguably the toughest archery competition in the world.
Yeah, and
Simple as that.
yes, absolutely. As much as I have been looking at the results and like if we take the overall level, it's incredible. It's incredible. Like
Absolutely.
national team trials can be that level. If you are in Korean Olympic team or national team, you you can already say that you have achieved something huge.
Yeah, we just had there the brackets showing from the quarterfinals all the way into the gold final. And there was a name that also caught my attention, which is a Turkish archer, Dunya Yenihayat. She shot the mixed team with Mete Gazoz, and they won bronze earlier today. She made it into the quarterfinals individually, and she's only 16 years of age.
Yeah.
So it's
Incredible.
yet another very promising and exciting talent coming from Turkey. Turkey that, even though they're not going to be shooting here in this session, so we're not going to be seeing any Turkish archers, but it really feels like they're checking the boxes. Like Mete won an Olympic medal, gold in Tokyo. In Paris, they won a team medal with the Turkish men's team. And now it feels like now they're putting their attention on the women's side.
Yeah.
And so to try maybe reap the rewards in the mixed team or the women's team. And so it's really impressive to see them building into this powerhouse.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool to see.
Yeah. So we are seeing right now the awarding ceremony. That gives us a good chance to also answer another question that's here. And maybe Bernardo, you want to open about a little bit about why Korea does so well in archery.
Simple answer is go to Archery Plus and watch the 10 documentary.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I'll try to summarize this, and just to keep context what we're watching, we have the podium ceremony, and just right now, Deepika Kumari being announced into the podium. Happy smiles as she gets her medal. But, well, why Korea does so well in archery? Basically because Korea, when archery was reintroduced into the Olympic program, archery was part of the Olympic program in the early 20th century, in 1904, 1920, and all. But then archery left and was brought back in 1972, Munich. Just a couple of years before that, in the early 70s, the Korean Archery Association was founded, it was created, and Korea, they decided that they were going to be good at this sport. But of course, we know it's easier said than done. But they decided that they were going to create a whole technical framework on like what's the best way to shoot. Let's standardize. It's going to be taught the same way all across the country.
And
Kids,
to really build a system that from ground level, that it's consistent and very systematic approach.
Exactly. So a kid starts at the basic level, and as soon as the kid goes to middle school, the next coach, he works in a similar way to the previous one, and then the high school coach as well, and the university, and the professional team, and the national team. So it's all a system. It's basically, yeah, it's a very systematic and professional approach that they have, and also very professional. So Korea, they have more than 1,500 full-time archers, and doing it very seriously in a very methodical way. And so a work that started in the early 70s already started to show the results in the early 80s when they had the first world champion. Forgot her name. The venue in Yecheon in Korea is named after her. She was the first world champion. And then 1984, first Korean woman won individual gold in LA, 84, and then 88. They were already a powerhouse, and the rest is history.
Yeah. And just a fun fact that we have both lived in Korea for some time of our life. I'm not so fluent in reading Korean anymore. Are you still fluent in reading Korean?
I read like a child. I read like a child.
We have one comment, and I don't know what it means, but let me see if I can translate it. Because we have it written in Korean. I will check what it means. I will check.
Let me try to find it here and read in Korean just to show off.
So
우승 나와나요? Yeah, I'm sorry. Kim Young-chol? Is that the person I'm thinking? Kim Young-chol, is that who I'm thinking of? It might be a guy that I trained with in Daejeon.
Well,
outstanding guy, very good archer. He was in the Korean national team in 2007 World Championships in Leipzig in Germany.
So the question is, did you win?
Did I win? I didn't win.
Well, Korea won for sure. Gold medal and silver medal, and Lee from Korea got the gold, and Lim got the silver, and bronze went to Kumari from India.
Yeah.
So that's the current standing.
It is Kim Young-chol. Kim Young-chol 형 안녕하세요. 적응만 해요. Wow, it's my Korean is
now
really
you
rusty.
get many comments from him. So.
In Korean, yeah.
That's
man.
cool. So I will have a glass of water and cheers to reunions.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this guy he's an amazing archer, and but it just goes to show the amazing quality that Korea has, because he made the team once, never made it again, and despite being a superb archer, and it's crazy. Korea is arguably the only place in the planet where you can have an archer that makes an entire career as a professional archer and never makes it to the national team. Yeah. It's like an entire career made domestically. Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, Kim Young-chol saying once again, 반갑습니다. 반갑습니다, 형님. Thanks for joining. Yeah.
Yes.
Great stuff.
Okay, so we are now done with the women's individual matches. Medals are awarded, and now it's time to move on to the men's individual matches for Recurve. And here we have actually 4 different countries. So let's see if we will have also people joining from more different places all over the world. So let us know if you have joined us recently. If you're wondering why you only see me and Bernardo sitting on the sofas, not archer shooting, then this is not the point of our YouTube stream. It's a watch along. So we are watching the matches, the broadcast, and we are just here with you commenting. You can interact with us through the YouTube comments. We are here to answer your questions and interact with you. But if you also want to see the live stream, then you can either check if it's on TV in your country, or there is no QR code at the moment, I think, but if you search, yes, there is. If you search for the Archery Plus online, then on that platform you can see this event, you can see documentaries, you can see a lot of content from archery and the future events as well. So that's the possibility to see the archers actually shooting,
or on TV on your own country, which
exactly.
You just have to check local availability. Shall we take a look at our next matches then?
Yeah, I think something really interesting coming up, because I am excited.
Yeah. And as you pointed out, well, in the recurve women's side, we had pretty much Korean domination. So both Koreans making the gold medal final. Deepika Kumari being able to kind of spoil the party a little bit and just to get that bronze medal and avoid an all-Korean podium. But on the men's side, it's a different story. We have...
Yeah, so we have Kim from Korea.
Kim from Korea, no, Kim Woo-jin.
Kim Woo-jin from Korea.
It's not just Kim, it's Kim Woo-jin.
Okay. So, and then, can you come with the full name of the Indian archer, please?
Parth Shushant Salunke.
Yes, Salunke.
Comments can rate my pronunciation.
Yes, in the comments you can let us know if we actually pronounce the names correct. So we have number one seed, meaning an archer who shot the strongest score of the competition during the qualification round. And then we have the 60th score from India, and I think this is going to be a guy to watch, and like really to keep your eye on, because
if he was sick, 60th, he eliminated good people in the way.
Yes.
Who he eliminated?
So in his first match, he eliminated Metegazos. Not more or less than Metegazos. So and
Tokyo 2020 champion.
Yes, yeah. And that was with the 6-5 shoot
yeah.
off.
It is this guy that is just now coming into the arena.
Yeah. He's only 21 years old, so he is new in the circuit, in the World Cup circuit. His world ranking is 152 before this event. It's going to go way higher after this event, but he's facing a very strong Korean, but he already did it in the quarterfinal as well. So he was shooting against Kim Jae-deok 6-2. He beat him
over
in quarterfinals. So I think it's very promising, but at the same time, I would say if from these top 4 archers he's leaving with the 4th place, it's already super good.
Yeah.
Like, he has already, this Indian guy, 21-year-old, he has already achieved a lot by making it to the finals. But I hope he makes our life interesting and really shows this. But compliment to you. You pronounce it correctly.
Oh my
Korean
goodness.
Name.
Thank you so much.
Indian name, I mean.
That's great stuff. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the feedback.
That's good, yeah.
I just wanted to interrupt you to say that it happened something really funny in the presentation when the archers came up into the arena to introduce themselves. And then like after Kim Woo-jin came last, he was announced last. And then it was really funny because he started walking out and then he just turned to everyone and kind of like, hey, come. Like it's over. Like let's get down to business. And then we could see the 4 of them walking out, and like Matias Grande, Baptista Diz, and Salunke, they were kind of close to each other, but you had Kim Woo-jin a good number of steps ahead of everyone else. Yes. Kind of like, guys, let's get moving.
Let's go, yeah. Like, what are you waiting for? But it's true because this semi-final is first, coming up between Salunke and Kim Woo-jin. So we really, they need to be ready to get going. But we see that wind is definitely picking up. Yeah. I think it's, and the 21-year-old Salunke, who is relatively a newcomer to the senior level international competitions, because he's actually a youth world champion. It doesn't mean that he hasn't been around at all. He's just so young that he has been more to continental level events, because he has been to 5 different Asian Grand Prix or Asian events, and then he is world youth champion, so he has definitely a lot of potential to be on the finals fields again in the future. But it's super remarkable, I must say, because it's his first ever World Cup stage and he's ending up on the finals field shooting against Kim Woo-jin. It's incredible.
Super impressive. Kim Woo-jin now full draw. Very first set in the Recurve men's semi-final number 1.
Yes.
He starts up high, already giving some clicks to his side, hoping next one lands in the middle. But this could be an early opportunity for Salunke, who also drops an 8, but on the other extreme, low.
Yeah, and it was extremely fast shot. I was not expecting that.
Kim Woo-jin, in a slightly more comfortable situation, is still quite far from the center of the target. A 9 close to the 8 at about 2 o'clock. And Salunke goes to the other extreme, shooting an 8 high.
Yeah.
Kim Woo-jin, full draw, last arrow
He
in the
looks
set.
like smiling while shooting and shoots a 10.
There he is. It's
So it's
still
out of
some more
reach.
clicks.
Out of reach for Salunke, so just get a good shot to be ready for the next set, and it's a 10.
That's exactly what he does. Interesting, yesterday, I think because it was cloudy in Shanghai, we didn't quite see this difference that now we see on one side of the arena, Salunke shooting on target number 2. He's under the shade, but Kim Woo-jin shooting on target 1 on the left-hand side is under the sun.
Yeah, but that's because they are shooting, the field is set up between the skyscrapers, so the situation might be very different after 20 minutes.
Yeah. No, for sure. In just a couple of minutes, it's all going to be the same. But it's just caught my attention. And yesterday, we really didn't see this.
Yeah. But a very on-point comment from Ashok Kumar Patel again is that the Parth Salunke is really an underdog of this competition. Like
absolutely.
like a dark horse.
But I wonder if he struggled in the qualification round, because I believe that he can do much better than what he did.
So he shot 651, which is like 44 points less than what Kim Woo-jin shot. 44 points in 72 arrows. But his career best on international tournaments is 677. So it is not like it's better, but it's not that much higher because Kim Woo-jin has shot 700. So there is a remarkable difference.
And Kim Woo-jin shot 350 in the first half in Shanghai.
And it was not perfect conditions. It was a tricky wind as much as I understood. So that 695 was amazing, I think.
As we have Salunke dropping an 8 with his second arrow, door pretty much wide open for Kim Woo-jin to extend his lead.
Wow.
And it's a second X in the second set, looking unfazed while Salunke now at full draw. Oh, that looked very well directed shot, a little bit crispy, but he puts it in the 10. That's an 10-8-10 for the Indian. Kim Woo-jin needing a 9 to go 4-0 up.
Oh, it's a 10.
And he shoots a 10.
Yeah.
That is a very
beautiful,
commanding early lead for Kim Woo-jin, who, honestly, needs no introduction. Like, what else can be said about Kim Woo-jin?
Yes. So it's actually funny because if we look at the quarterfinals, both of the archers were shooting. So if we said that Salunke was shooting against Kim Jae-deok in quarterfinals, then Kim Woo-jin was actually shooting against Dasan Atanu Das. So India, Korea, 2 matches were facing each other.
Yeah, and then now once again India, Korea.
Yeah. So
man, I have to say, India is one of the countries that I root for the most to win an Olympic medal. Yeah. It's been coming. It's not a matter of whether it'll happen. It's just a matter of when, and I can't wait for it to happen.
Yeah. But talking about the experience, then it's the first World Cup for Salunke, and it's the 30th time, so 3-0 for Kim Woo-jin. That's wow.
Salunke started with a 10. Kim Woo-jin shooting his first arrow is matched, shoots a 10 as well. top and very strong form by the Korean Salunke, trying to keep the pressure up to try and force an error.
But he was shaky.
Yeah,
but it's a 9.
I think his finish to the shot isn't the best so far.
No, this time it was already during the full draw.
Now Kim Woo-jin
Staying longer and 8. That was not his usual shot.
Yeah, it felt out of balance
Yeah,
when he released a little bit.
This one was much better, but it's a 9.
It's a 9, 28 for Salunke. Well, he is guaranteed to at least get a set point. He'll be hoping that Kim Woo-jin will drop a 9.
And the bow is moving, so they're...
Wind blowing for sure. That's
it's
a
a
9
9.
that Salunke needed.
That means a set point for Salunke. So 2 set points, so it means 4-2.
Parth Shunshat Salunke from India now gets on the scoreboard. For sure it was going to be at least 1 point, but it's even better because now it's 2. He avoids Kim Woo-jin getting to the 5-1 point of the match, where then Kim Woo-jin, all he would need would be a tie. So this can make a big difference in the match.
If he comes back from 0-4 being behind and takes this match, wow, that would be so exciting.
In the Pan American...
I'm absolutely a fan of Kim Woo-jin. Like, it's nothing.
Who isn't? Who isn't? Huh?
Yes, but at the same time, it's so exciting to see someone going for the World Cup stage for the first time, ending up in the finals.
We are the professional sofa warriors. We want to see everything on fire.
Yes. Yep. And I think from the sofa, it's way easier to relate to the underdogs and the dark horses. And but the wind is on the shooting line, affecting them. But Salunke manages it really nicely and shoots an X10 to start the set, putting the pressure on Kim Woo-jin, who stays calm and shoots like almost that X.
Superb execution by Kim Woo-jin. Indian Salunke. Whoa, that was a very, very, very fast shot.
And a 10.
That was a spot on, it seems. 2 10s from Parth Shushant Salunke. And now we have Kim Woo-jin dropping a 9.
Dropping a 9,
it
leaving
might
the
be
door open.
Yet another
Salunke.
opportunity for the Indian archer, who's about to shoot his last arrow.
9.
In or out? 9? I think
in.
so too. I'm calling that a 9.
So a 10 will give a tight set, I think. Oh, it's a 9. So unless the last arrow gets downgraded to 8 for Parth Salunke, then we have a tight match 4-4. That's so exciting.
So I have put on the graphics there, measure in progress, because all eyes are going to be on target judge Marlene Cruders, who is going to have to check whether that arrow by Salunke did clip the line or not. Both me and Sirat think it's a 9, but we need official confirmation. I wonder whether we're going to get an image of that.
Because the difference would be either the match is tied 4-4 or if it's 5-3. So
absolutely.
And both athletes have shot 6 10s. So it's half of the arrows have been 10s. That means it is windy condition, I think, because otherwise on that level, like having finals for Recurve men in a good weather, there would be more 10s, but it's not bad for a windy day.
Well, it was indeed a 9. It's 4-4. 3 arrows left in regulation sets. Kim Woo-jin shooting first for the first time since set number 1. Nails it in the X-ring, putting pressure on Salunke from India.
Yep. Oh, and responds with an X as well.
An X as well. Poker face in the face of Salunke, laser focused, now up to Kim Woo-jin to try and keep up the pressure. Drops an 8 to the left.
He said like, literally did like this.
Kim Woo-jin is in an
But I
uncomfortable
don't think this
place.
is over because 8.
Ooh, matched by
Told you.
Salunke. Only one arrow left for each archer, and there is absolutely nothing in between them. This is kind of an early shoot-off.
So it's like, coming down to this 1 arrow now.
It's about an early shoot-off. Kim Woo-jin
10.
puts it in the 10. Up to Salunke to match that and
That
take
is
this to a
putting
shoot-off.
him a really difficult situation, and it's windy, and you can see even
Wind
the
blowing.
bow moving.
Labor
Yeah.
shot, and it's a 7.
Oh my god! So you shoot this 15 arrow match, and after 14 arrows, it's like as same as you just started.
Yeah.
Just with 1 arrow. So
Basically, what we had was an early shoot-off.
yeah,
It's a
yeah, absolutely.
whoa. This
I think Kim Woo-jin must be so relieved because after shooting an 8, I saw from his face he was
Yeah.
like,
man, yeah.
This is
Can't be shooting 8s.
yes,
But it just goes to show how challenging the conditions are. For sure, the wind is picking up. We can see the trees blowing in the wind. Salunke's last arrow really was a labored one. He was really struggling to keep it all together. And whoa, but well, taking into consideration his his track record, which isn't very long,
yes,
I think, of course, nobody likes to lose.
yeah,
But I think tonight, when he's back at the hotel and relaxing, he can look back at the fact that he went down to the very last arrow against Kim
yeah,
Woo-jin.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And he has already done amazing things this competition, starting from coming from the 60th position and making it to the top 4. Amazing. So we will move to the next match, which will be between Adis Baptiste from France, who was 6th in the qualification, and going against Matthias Grande, who was 7th in the qualification. They had only 1 point difference, so they shot 72 arrows, and their score was basically the same, 684, 683.
Whoa.
So that's very high level and tight scores. So would be expecting to have quite a tight match as well. Maybe a tie, maybe a shoot-off would be interesting. And actually, Adis was the one who took out Brady this time in the quarterfinals. So
This is like, it's hard to say this in a session like today with so many good matches, but I would say that this was the match I was looking forward to the most, because I think these are 2 of the most exciting young talents that we have on the circuit. Matthias Grande from Mexico. Actually, both countries with such a strong tradition in archery in their own right. Both countries with Olympic medals, with several medals in the World Cup. And they are so young, and they have a similar shooting style, and can't wait to see them both. We're about to get started. Start of set number 1. And we have Baptiste Adis from France shooting first into the 10 ring. Nonetheless, some clicks on his sight over to Matthias Grande from Mexico. Ooh, and it seems that's a 7. He looks puzzled. Somewhat normal in the very first arrows for archers to understand what the venue actually feels like. And Baptiste Adis needs no adapting to the venue. He is spot on. Nods to his coach. Matthias Grande is still in the red, but getting and just edging closer towards the center. Very comfortable situation for Baptiste to take an early lead, and he does so, even without the very last arrow from Matthias Grande. All that the Mexican can do is just adjust his sight, build the confidence, and a 10 just does just that.
You know, I hadn't realized if Adis Baptiste, who is only 18 years old, takes a medal from this event, it will be the first senior level international medal individually. he has shot good qualifications. He has shot some brilliant matches. He has a lot of experience with the team and also in the youth events. But in the senior level, actually, he has been to 8 World Cups, but never as an individual medal. So, well,
So
8 is not as much as we have saw before, but
so
still.
basically, he's a terrible archer then.
No, absolutely not. But it means that for him it would mean a lot, like to have a
Absolutely.
medal from this event. So,
But I'm pretty sure that Matias Grande doesn't have World Cup individual medals either. I'm pretty sure.
but, yeah, but I meant like any world ranking event, like a European Grand Prix
really?
or
Okay.
European Championships,
Okay.
Any senior level event at
All right.
all. So let's see for.
Then we have Matias Grande shooting first on set number 2. He trails by 2 set points. His very last arrow in the first set was a 10, and he keeps up the trend. Is still a little bit to the left, to be fair, but Baptiste spot on, nodding once again after that arrow. We see him giving a few clicks to his sight. He thinks and feels that there is improvement to be made.
An 8.
And Grande is still struggling, but I think that's not the sight, that's his shooting. It seemed a little bit off balance.
So calm. The shot of Addis Baptiste was so calm, but 9. So, just to come back to the question of the senior level medals, then Grande has medaled individually on the continental level. So in Pan American Games, he has individual medals.
Yeah.
But yes, for World Cup stages, it's his 10th event, and it's the same. He has 2 team golds, but not individual medals. So for both of those young archers, it would be the first individual medal on the World Cup stage.
Mm-hmm.
So
And-
that would be cool.
Well, thanks for bringing that up. And something that I remember, and it's really cool about Baptiste Addis from France, from La France, is the fact that he was the youngest male athlete of the entire French delegation in the Paris Olympics.
Yeah.
And he won a medal.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, in this replay, we see behind him a legendary coach that Baptiste Addis has behind him in the shooting line, Romain Grosjean. If you've been following archery for long enough, you're going to remember that, well, just about 10 years ago, a French archer that was constantly on the finals arena shooting for medals was
Yes.
that guy,
Yeah,
Romain Giroud.
and now he's there as a coach.
And now he's there as a coach, passing on his experience. We have a not very comfortable lead, but we have a significant lead by Baptiste Addis, leading 3-1. Matias Grande shooting first, drops a 9 yet again to the left. Matias Grande with all his arrows to the left-hand side of the target, while Baptiste opens the door. He drops an 8, low right. Matias Grande. Whoa, and
10.
that was very nicely directed by the Mexican archer, who now asserts himself into the match. And Baptiste, seemingly losing the amazing form that he had early in the match, now with 2 8s. Matias Grande, wow, with the 29, clinches the set even before the Frenchman shoots his last arrow. And he finds himself back in the center of the target once again, so that he goes into the 4th set feeling a little bit more confident. After 9 arrows, we have it all square, 3-3 between these two very young and exciting archers. Now, I'm gonna kind of leave it up to the audience to tell whether they would like me to share a story that might take a little bit long. But I have an interesting story. It's a parallel that I've seen between Baptiste Addis and Marcos D'Almeida.
Yeah, we can see if anyone replies, because
Yeah.
the chat has been actually quite calm today. Like, there is people watching, there is viewers, but not too many comments. So let's see if we get anyone on that. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they would like to hear that.
Yeah, so if you guys wanna hear this two very similar situations that I saw Marcos D'Almeida, my former teammate in the Brazilian team, and then also Baptista Diz. Then just drawing a parallel between the two of them. Just let us know whether you like to hear that. But in the meantime, it is the Frenchman. Full draw, starting the fourth set, 3-3 against Matias Grande from Mexico. That was a slightly longer hold by Baptiste, but he missed the 10 by just a couple of millimeters. It's not a bad start. Over to Grande.
Oh, a 10.
Who
Nice
puts
10.
it in the 10. It seems that he struggled a little bit to get into the match, but now he is on form. And Baptiste replies. Matias Grande, full draw once again, looking to keep up the pressure. Absolutely nothing in between them. Up till this moment, one arrow to decide the fourth set.
Oh, it was windy.
We saw his body moving,
And
right?
I actually
the whole body
thought
shifting.
the arrow will go to the right, but probably he was compensating and aiming to the left, and actually the arrow hit to the left. So.
Oh, and what an effort by Matias Grande, who misses the 10 by just a couple of millimeters. Fist bump with his coach, because now the Mexican finds himself ahead for the first time in this match. He is leading provisionally 5-3, but I'm pretty sure we're not going to have the scores being changed by the coach down. Whoa, and what is that? Matias having to...
Oh!
Wait, his sight mount came loose, or...
Wow.
Whoa, this is...
And we do not have any extra time given for the equipment repair.
Yeah,
So
whoa.
I wonder if he will take his spare bow or
No,
it
and-
should be rather simple fix, but still it's something unbelievable. And his clicker is attached to it.
No, but I think that should be okay. But whoa.
No, when
He only
was-
has a couple of seconds to make up his mind on whether he picks up the spare bow or not.
Oh my
Coach
God.
is still
I think
screwing
they
the sight
got it.
mount. Matias Grande is walking to
Oh
the
my
line,
God.
placing his sight.
So we are
Luckily-
seeing what is happening, but I imagine if you're watching us, you don't understand really what was going on.
But-
so the Mexican athletes, you have the sight on the bow, and where it's attached to the bow riser, these screws came loose. So actually, the coach needed to find the right key from the Allen wrench to tighten the screws to attach it again.
And luckily, Baptiste was shooting first.
Ah,
So
yeah.
Matias Grande had just a couple of seconds more to finish this little adjustment.
Yeah. So second arrow 9 for Addis Baptiste, which was just out, and now it's again.
No, and it's
19,
impressive.
19.
It's impressive that Grande had this issue, and he
He's
was totally unfazed. And now
Yes.
he is back and just shooting 10s, and Baptiste
8.
drops an 8. I think that's done and dusted, but the
Yes.
Mexican still has to finish it off.
Yeah, like 6 to. I know.
Whoa.
Well, it's a 10.
Super
oh my
impressive.
God.
Super impressive.
Maybe that was like this extra adrenaline that he needed to actually pull this off,
And
because
all smiles with the coach, because I think none of them believe that, like,
Wow.
man, 2 minutes ago we were like adjusting the screws of the sight mount on the bow.
yeah, you don't see equipment failures very often in the finals field, like almost never.
No, this is the first time in my life I see this on a finals like this. Them having to fumble the wrench key and then
Yeah.
find the one, and like, this is the
Yeah.
first time I see
Yeah.
this.
And to be honest, if like my athlete has an Allen wrench in her quiver, but me as a coach, I don't always bring it with me.
This caught my attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder if that was in Grande's quiver or whether the coach had it in his pocket. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's hats off. Hats
Yeah.
off to them.
Yeah.
All right,
and
then.
makes me think that, yeah.
Now you need to have an alien key in your pocket,
Yeah,
Surat.
Okay, so this match is over, and we are going to advance to the bronze medal match. But before that, we are going to take. I have a question, which is, I believe, for me, because Pratik Patel is asking, from me or from you, that why Indian player are choking so much, and my answer would be exactly because of the question. It's like this.
I think choking is
Not
strong.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is a very strong question, and I feel they have so much pressure from the public, from the audience, from the media, that if they would just have more support and understanding, because it's not easy to put the arrows in the 10. It's a lot of pressure, and it's huge mental game, and I would really not say that Indian archers choke, and like specifically that Indian archers are doing it more than others or something like this, because I think they're doing a spectacular job. They have been maybe a bit unlucky with the Olympic Games, but coming again to the fact that archery is mostly a mental game, and then having all these expectations and all this pressure from media, and as soon as you make one tiny mistake, you get so like harsh criticism. Because as much as I have followed the articles in Indian media and some of the social media posts and stuff, they are very harsh. Like, looks like all the Indian archers are expected to be shooting only 10s all the time. So my suggestion would be really for the audience, for the media, to start supporting your own archers more, be more understanding, and understand also that even if you have good archers, they cannot be on top level of their game every competition of the season. So if you want to put the timing, peak the performance for the World Championships, for example, this year it's in September, then maybe for some archers it's not the good time to be in their top form right now. So yeah, that's what I have noticed really, and what I have always felt that is a bit sad. As a former archer and current coach, I really feel this pressure that is on Indian team members. If a little bit of that would be lifted, it would be already better for them. But if we come concretely to this event, we have 8 recurve finalists, 4 women, 4 men, and out of 8 archers, you have 2 from India. That's 25%. That is amazing. Like, besides Korea, who has more than 1 archer, no other nation has it. So how do you say that Indian archers choke? Really, I would not say so. And secondly, the fact that Salunke, who is now starting to shoot the bronze match, and we see on the screen how he's like concentrating, focused, taking his composure together. The fact that he is in top 4 is amazing. Like, amazing. It's his first event of that level. So just be happy. I think that's really, I hope you understand my point of view, but because this is really external. I have never lived in India. I don't know that much, but I have followed this aspect because there was a movie about Deepika Kumari in Netflix.
Ladies first.
Ladies first. And that already highlighted that this media pressure is too much for her. So if it was too much for her and that on that moment, then maybe it's the same effect on other archers, and maybe something should be changing around it. So, but I haven't seen. I have followed, and I haven't seen a change in a positive direction in that sense. So, yeah. Wow, that is so nice. Definitely not joking. Super tight group for Parth Salunke from India, who starts with a 30 in the first set and takes 2 set points because Adis Baptiste started with 28.
And what an answer that was. I hope that was clear for you. And the only thing, if I may add on that is that archery, just a high-level sports, is very, very hard, super competitive. There is very little in between the top competitors. And archery, to stay consistently in the top, is something that only the very best can do.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that Indian archers can do it, they have been doing it. And so, yeah, there is a lot to be proud of. There is a lot to support and a lot to look forward to as well, because there is room for growth. And as I said, I don't think it's a matter of whether India will win a medal at the Olympic Games in archery. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
All right. In the meantime, we've had the first set. As Siret said, Salunke with a very imposing 30, leading 2-0, with Baptiste now having shot the very first arrow in the second set, drops a 9, a little high, door open again for Salunke, who
a nice X.
shots his 4th arrow in the match, and it's his 4th 10. Baptiste, needing to react, shoots a 9 just outside of the 10. He's shot nothing but 9 so far in this match.
And a 10.
And Salunke.
Wow, 5-10. So, talking about choking, don't see it here at all. And a 10 to finish the set for Addis.
Baptiste. Salunke with yet a great opportunity to open a 4-0 lead. Oh, that wasn't a good finish. He drops an 8. But that's going to be enough because Baptiste...
tie
or
the
no,
set.
yeah, that's a tie.
So
yeah,
it's
you're
3-1,
right.
but it's still good. Because there was maybe... some might think that maybe one of the Addis Baptiste arrow was a 10, but I don't think so. I think
Yeah,
you
no.
could clearly see the yellow between there. It was like a millimeter off, I think.
Yeah, no, that was confidently 28, I guess, for both of them.
The last arrow for Pars Salunke probably was not the wind. I think it was his own shot. Maybe the timing was off or something, because I think the release went a little front and then back, and the arrow is down. So
I know what happened there. He choked.
yeah, today is a day of discussing cooking.
Begin of the third set. Parth
I really
shot
love
Salunke from India with
what
his
he's
eyes
doing.
closed right before stepping into the shooting line.
And I have seen him doing it consistently, and I think that is super important for athletes to have their own routine, and especially what comes to the mental game. And if you need to close your eyes, if you need to mumble something for yourself, do it. Like
I've
do
done
it,
that myself.
whatever works for you.
I've done that myself many times, and what didn't work for Baptista was this arrow. We saw him already swaying his bow after releasing the arrow because he knew that wasn't a good one. It was an 8, matched by
Wow.
Salunke. He looks back to his coach, not believing what happened, but we have a shot of the trees blowing with the wind, and Baptiste drops a 7 low.
The look is on his face is like, what is happening?
Both
Like,
archers puzzled by what's going on downrange.
because I think on the shooting line,
And he's matched by another 7. 8-7.
neither of them can't believe what is happening. But I have a feeling I would put the bet on Salunke to have a good comeback.
Me too. And
But
whoa,
also Addis Baptiste has
the
a
bow
10.
was moving from left to right, and yet the Frenchman drops a 10. And Salunke,
Yes.
they matched each other arrow by arrow the entire set.
Yes.
And this has got to be good news for the Indian archer,
And-
because now he finds himself within striking distance of victory and getting bronze here in
so
Shanghai.
It's 4-2, which means the next set, if Pars Salunke wins the next set, then it's going to be 6-2, and he goes home with a bronze medal from his first ever World Cup stage, which
Absolutely.
would be super amazing. But let's see, because it would be first ever medal for Adis Baptiste as well in the World Cup for individual competition. But I would definitely say, you see scores, if you see just the scores, you say 8, 7, 10. Well, that's not so good for recurve men, right? But there definitely was a wind, and it was a tricky wind because on the shooting line it wasn't that strong on the first arrow. They didn't really feel it so much, so you don't really get the good feedback while you are already in full draw. But there are wind corridors definitely somewhere between them and the target face, so that is tricky. But now we see calm and composed Adis Baptiste shooting a 10.
I'm really impressed by how much the wind conditions are changing.
Yeah, because there are also some shots where you can see their bows moving while they are aiming. So
yeah, but looking at the trees also behind the targets, this time it looks much calmer, and the shooting of the athletes confirmed that, because we've had nothing but 10s. I have a little question about Salunke's first arrow, but I think that is a 10. The scoring system is also calling it confidently a 10.
Yeah, I think
and
it's a 10.
That might have been an opportunity given by the Indian. Now he looks really worried, but Baptiste Adis with a great opportunity to make a comeback, and it's a 30.
Tied match, 4-4, and no matter what is the last arrow of Pars Salunke, but his goal would be to make a calm, confident shot so he can start the next set confidently. But it's high 9. He looks a bit worried. Let's see how it will go.
Yeah, and I think that now we see Baptiste Adis and Romain Giroux, his coach behind the shooting line, and the body language by the French coach, Romain Giroux, kind of tells me, it's like, man, keep it simple. Just don't overcomplicate it, because just do what you know how to do.
Yeah.
It's in these situations, it's really easy to overtry.
Staying patient and just in the zone of constantly doing your own shot.
Now, another thing that caught my attention is that we've just seen the graphic, and it showed Baptiste's arrow speed.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of the slowest arrows that we have seen in the recurve man. Wow. So this could be a factor. That makes me think that he doesn't have a lot of poundage, and so he is more susceptible to the wind. That could be a factor.
Yeah.
Baptiste Adis in the beginning of the last regulation set, only 3 arrows to decide who makes it into the last step of the podium.
Nice composed shot. So.
It took a little bit long, but he took his time to finish it well, puts it in the 10. Pressure now off to the Indian Salunke, who misses the 10 by a good number of millimeters. That was a good shot, but he's going to need more than that to put pressure on Baptiste Adis from France.
It's a 9.
Who drops a 9.
So we are in bronze medal match. It's 4-4 tied. If they are tied after this set, we are going to have a shoot-off. But for that...
we saw him coming back there, hesitating with the string arm, but that's an axe.
So now we have exactly the same the situation as we had before. It's 4-4, and the last arrow decides. I think it's a 9.
And that's a 9, confidently a 9, missing by just a couple of millimeters. It's now in the hands of Salunke. A 10 is gonna take the match. A 9, and we'll have the first shoot-off of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
And struggling a little bit. It's a 10!
It's a 10, so...
He takes it.
Talking about Indian archers choking.
What a relief that must have been. We saw the tension on the face of both archers. And what a campaign by Parth Sushant Salunke. Yeah. Coming from 60th seed, nearly not making it into the matches, defeating a lot of heavyweight names on his way, and now on the podium.
Yeah, incredible. Absolutely incredible. I think he must feel like he won a gold at that event, like gold. I mean, he can be so happy. Somehow he doesn't look that happy, but It's not bad, but
I think he's just still feeling the nerves still.
yeah. The adrenaline is still pumping.
I think he hasn't synced in.
Yes. The coach is like even the scope up high in the air and really, really happy.
Oh my, that's incredible. So let me update the schedule here because we have only one match left in this session and in this World Cup stage. To be honest, we're coming to an end and we have only the grand final in the recurve men's individual. We've just had Salunke from India beating Baptista Diz from France 6-4, and we will go to the recurve man gold medal match individual. Let me bring that up on the graphics. So let's see if we're gonna have it in just a couple of moments time.
So we had a comment in the beginning that 9 wasn't confirmed for Addis Baptiste. But the thing is that also we have spotters on different locations. So we have spotters on site who put it for the result system to see immediately. And they are also in some specific location and having a scope zoomed into the target. They see it from one angle. And then we look what we see the close-up of the camera showing the target, and we see it from a different angle. So for certain arrows, for certain spotters, it's not so easy to see, but I think what we saw from the broadcast, it clearly looked like a 9. So maybe the spotter on site who was looking at with the scope didn't see the same angle and just put it there with the asterisk just to be sure. But that's why we were rather confident this match is done.
Yeah, so there you have on the right-hand side of your screen, we have the schedule updated, and as you can see, we have only one match to go. On the recurve men's side, we've had in the first semi-final Kim Woo-jin booking his place into the final after beating Salunke 6-4 in a thrilling match. Baptista Diz then losing to Matthias Grande. We've just had the bronze medal final won by India's very own Parth Sushant Salunke, beating Baptista Diz 6-4, and now we are gonna get started with the very first set of the final. Kim Woo-jin shooting first against Matthias Grande, and the wind is back.
8 to start off, 8 on the right. Like
Kim Woo-jin starting with an unlikely 8 high right. Matthias Grande shooting exactly on the same spot, looking back to his coach to understand what's going on in the venue.
The wind is definitely getting stronger.
Yeah, and Kim Woo-jin, his body shifting back and forth.
You don't see that often.
No, you don't. Matthias Grande with a fast shot.
Another 8. They look so confused. Wow.
This is not what you would expect from the first set of a recurve gold medal match.
And
but Kim Woo-jin,
good comeback.
Now, breaks the ice, makes his...
He's going like,
yeah.
Come on, 26. Like, I couldn't have shot nothing less than the 10 in the last arrow.
Yeah, kind of like that one had to be in there.
Wow, and we got X from Grande, so
Okay.
You shoot a 10, I shoot an X.
Matthias Grande with the very last arrow managed to put himself in the scoreboard. We have a split of the set points, 1-1 for Matthias Grande, and this is a match that I was very much looking forward to because I am a big fan of Matthias Grande. I think he is an outstanding archer. He won the Pan American Championships, won silver at the Pan American Games, beating Brady Allison in a semifinal. That was an amazing match. It was like a superb match. And now he puts himself on level with Kim Woo-jin from Korea. We're almost ready for the begin of set number 2. Line judge Samane Hosseini, I believe, is about to signal the begin of the second set.
So there is a huge difference in age and experience between these two archers because Kim Woo-jin 32 years old, so long career behind 29 stages. This is
Another
30th.
8.
And then Matthias Granda, 21-year-olds only. But what is similar is that...
And a 7 by Grande.
Grande, not... What is similar is that they both shoot really good qualification rounds. They were ranked both in top 8, so seeded first Kim Woo-jin, seeded 7th Matthias Grande, and both have very high world ranking as well, so shows their overall performance throughout the last 2 seasons. So Kim Woo-jin is currently number 2 in the world ranking, probably after this event could change. And then Matthias Grande is world ranking 9th. So being only 21 years old and being in world ranking in top 10, amazing, really amazing. And if we talk about their scores, then the career best 72 arrow score, 720 is maximum, and Kim Woo-jin has shot 700, Matthias Granda has shot 695. So
wow.
For 21-year-old,
I didn't know that Matthias Grande had shot a 695. That's a very, very high score.
Very high.
That is, it makes me think about my former teammate Marcus D'Almeida, who has shot against Matthias Grande several times, and I think it's kind of an even record in between them. And Matthias Grande did beat Marcus D'Almeida, I think, in the round of 16 here in Shanghai to make it into the quarterfinals.
Yes, 7-1.
Yeah, just goes to show about the quality that Matthias Grande has and has been displaying for some time. I think the very first time I heard about Matthias Grande, it was after the Pan American Championships and Marcus D'Almeida beat him in the semifinal. Talking to Marcus afterwards, he said, man, it was my toughest match. It was up against this new kid. And yeah, a couple of years later, here he is trying to beat Kim Woo-jin for gold. A few side clicks by the side from the Mexican, Kim Woo-jin taking unusually long. That is why he took his time to put it in the middle of the target. Matthias Grande needing 10s to try and put some pressure on the Korean superstar. That's a 9, almost on the 8. Matthias Grande clearly struggling in terms of left and right by the being drifted by the wind. And Kim Woo-jin looking rock solid. Rock solid.
Match is taking a direction at the moment, but 10.
Matthias Grande finds himself back in the 10
and
for the first time since the first set.
Kim Woo-jin shoots a yellow, so 9 or a 10, and already takes a set. And it's an X10.
How about an X?
How about an X, yeah. You see these white dots on the target face? These are Kim Woo-jin's arrows. There are 3 of them. They are so tightly together. It's not just one dot there.
Yeah.
It's 3 of them together in the center, so.
Yeah, Kim Woo-jin looking so comfortable.
5-1.
And, I mean, in terms of trying to match him technically, that's a very high ask. Like, that's a very tough thing to do. And anyone's best chance is try to make him uncomfortable, which is definitely not what it looks right now.
Yeah, you need the first arrow with hit the 10. And Granda missed that opportunity this set, not putting the more pressure on Kim Woo-jin.
Well, but I just wanted to bring up as well, I remember a World Cup final where Bomadevra from India, man, he beat Kim Woo-jin in amazing style. It shows that it can be done.
Yeah, for sure.
Matthias Grande shooting first. It's the start of the 4th set. Matthias needs to win the next 2 sets to try and force a shoot-off to take gold home. Kim Woo-jin in a comfortable situation because he needs to match his opponent, and he does better than that. Now he has a provisional 1-point lead in this 4th set. Matthias Grande, second arrow, another 9, closer to the 10, but that's not going to be enough.
I think the gold medal match is getting decided this set.
It looks pretty much like that. Kim Woo-jin shooting his 8th consecutive 10.
That is amazing.
Matthias Grande, yet
group,
another
but
9.
all on the right.
It is indeed a good group, but life is so easy for Kim Woo-jin now. He needs only a 7. He shoots a 10.
10, yes, it's a 10.
10 lifts his arms
victory.
up. The satisfaction smile on this man's face as he has his fist up in the air, showing, I'm the guy. I came here to win gold, and he cleaned everything. He was first in qualification.
Yep.
Won team gold, mixed team gold, individual gold.
Yep. And got the pass to the World Cup final. So a great day for him. And I think in a few minutes we will hear a couple of comments from him. How he, let's see what they ask from him. How he's happy with that.
But
I'm sure he's happy.
Honestly, this is just another Sunday afternoon in the life of Kim Woo-jin.
Yes.
You go out there, you shoot a couple of arrows, you win a gold medal, you win a beautiful Herbelin watch, you show everyone that you're still the best in the world, and that's it.
And
usual business.
For Matthias Grande, first individual senior medal in World Cup. So that's cool.
Absolutely. Lots to be... honestly, I think the 3 other recurve guys, they can be very proud, and they have lots of positives to take from this competition, because we've had Baptiste Dis from France making it for the first time into the Final 4. He's 18. The guy has got a lot of competitions ahead of him.
Yeah, for sure.
We have Salunke from India, who we talked a lot about him, and it's he is my favorite story of the day, literally.
Yeah.
And
he's also 21 only.
Yeah. And then it's 21, same age as Matthias Grande, who also had an amazing campaign. But all of them also, they can take positives, but they can also go back home knowing that they have a lot of hard work to do if they want to beat this guy. Let's hear from him.
So they are asking him that, you took a gold and seems you took everything, but it wasn't given easily. You needed to work for it, right? So he said that whenever he's shooting a competition like this, this is always against the absolute best of the world. So he needs to be ready for it, and he's just shooting the best he can. Okay, I think the question was about the wind and that there were arrows that were quite far off, in the red. So he said that he's wondering if it's something to do with the fact that he hasn't been in the international competitions that much in the recent years. So that he tries to do better in the future. So he's planning to go, no big changes, continues what he's doing, practicing, and going to Antalya World Cup soon.
Great stuff from Kim Woo-jin. And as he was talking, I have a funny stat about his final against Matthias Grande. Kim Woo-jin, he shot nothing other than 10s and 8s. He didn't shoot 9s.
Really?
So he shot 3 8s, and then he shot 9 9s.
Very interesting.
And first set, it was 8 8 10. Second set, 8 10, and then all the way into the rest of the match, it was just 10s. So he took a little bit of time to find his aiming point. I guess this is what we're seeing him talk about with the other medalists as they're waiting to go into the podium ceremony. Yeah. I guess he's exactly talking to them about how the wind was like and what he was doing and everything. And man, I'd give everything to be right next to them and to be listening to that conversation.
Yes. Well, very nice to see two young archers going to the podium as well. So it's not only about the experience. Well, I can't see that these young archers don't have experience. They have very, very successful career already, like in youth level, in continental level, and with the teams also in senior level. But now with for Grande and Salunke, it's first individual senior medal in World Cup or World Championship level. So on a really top level that you can have.
Absolutely. Well, authorities being announced for the podium ceremony. We'll just go over the final thoughts and final words here in this broadcast. Just back there, we can see on the left-hand side in the broadcast, we have Alejandra Valencia with a very stylish Target umbrella,
Yes.
shielding from the sun as she watches her teammate, Matias Grande, get awarded his silver medal. Well, just going over then the second part of our broadcast, the second session, the latter half of the session that we had, Kim Woo-jin beating Salunke in the first semifinal. Baptista Diz had had an amazing start in his semifinal against Matias Grande, but ended up losing 7-3. And then in the bronze medal match, we had Parth Sushant Salunke from India beating the Frenchman 6-4. And in the gold medal final, it was, Matias Grande didn't stand much of a chance against Kim Woo-jin, who was just supreme, taking gold, beating Grande 7-1. Well, this brings us to the end of this World Cup stage.
Yep.
We've come to after an entire week of all sorts of weather. We had rain, we had heat, we had cold, and now it seems to be a really pleasant, even though windy, afternoon in Shanghai as the finalists get their medals. And, this was a very entertaining one. This was really cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot. Did you as well?
Yes. I think was not that bad to wake up so early on Sunday.
It was worth it.
Yeah, but I will have a long archery day because I'm going directly to a real life competition coaching.
Yeah.
So
grassroots competition.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I'm very happy that we had a very nice audience today who was actually understanding what we are doing here, not complaining that they can't see the archer shooting, because this is not even intended to be that one you can do on Archery Plus platform. But you were staying with us. We had some really good questions, and I really like that we touched the question about choking and especially what comes to Indian archers. So we had at the end another person saying the real chokers of archery is India. No medals in Olympics yet. So
you probably that's harsh, man.
Yes, that's what I am telling
harsh.
About. That's...
Maybe look, if you're Indian, that's not cool.
Yes.
If you're, and maybe it's somebody who's not Indian and who just hates India and then is trying to throw shade on them. But
what I have seen, the Indians themselves are probably the harshest critics of Indian archers. So just go back like half an hour in our discussion. We really touched it for 5 minutes probably.
Sirat put it brilliantly.
I think there is a lot into this. Like, you need to support your archers. Like, we had 8 individual archers in the finals, and 2 of them were from India. This guy standing on the podium, who we see right now, he's young and he's shooting his first ever World Cup, and he ends up in the bronze medal. Like, it's amazing. It's far from joking. So be supportive.
No, and I'll say something. Supporting when your team, your athlete is winning is easy. That anyone can do that. That's really easy. Like cheering Kim Woo-jin when he's winning.
Yeah,
that's super easy. But then cheering Kim Woo-jin when he lost in the quarterfinal in Tokyo.
Yeah.
That's the hard part. And well, with that being said, Sirat, final thoughts?
I'm just happy that I joined.
Thank you so much. Thanks for coming.
It was really a pleasure today. I think the matches were really interesting.
It was really cool.
I liked it.
It was really cool. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks to Siret. Aita.
Palun.
You told me to learn some Estonian, and today here I am.
Yes.
Want to say a couple of quick words to the Estonian audience?
Today is Mother's Day, so I would like to say to everyone in English, Happy Mother's Day. Well, depends where you are in the world, but most of the world has a Mother's Day today. So, kallis ema, head emadepäeva.
Feliz Dia das Mães para minha mãe. Said it in Portuguese. Happy Mother's Day to everyone out there, to all the mothers, or to everyone who has a mother. Everybody has a mother. So,
Yes.
But yeah, guys, this then puts Shanghai Stage 2 of the Hyundai Archery World Cup in 2025 in the books. We're going to be back in just about a month's time for the third stage, which is going to be in Antalya, Turkey. The finals are going to be June 7th for Compound Saturday and June 8th for Recurve Sunday. And June 8th is my birthday. So join me for that. It's going to be awesome. It was a pleasure being with you here today. Thanks, Siret. Thanks, everyone who joined. I'll see you very soon. Wherever you are, have a good end to your day or have a great rest of day. And I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Bye.